Hey guys, Norm the Gnome from angrylemongaming coming at you once again with a champion guide on Gragas. I figured Gragas was suited for the 4th of July better than any other champion. I find him to be one of the more comical characters in the game. He can be played in two main ways. One way is as an AP beefy type character. The other way is as your standard tank. I tend to prefer to play him as an AP strong beefy character. I usually purchase, when I'm going AP, I will purchase a Dorn's Ring just to give me that extra mana regen, ability power, and health. It's just a pretty standard item to buy when you're starting in a lane with any character. I also, depending on the other team, I'll go boots and a couple pots. It just depends on the other team. Gragas has a couple of course he has the 4 abilities like every other champion. His Q is a barrel roll. What this does is it throws your barrel that he's carrying with him all the time, and once it lands, let's show it to you here, you can throw it out here, and once it lands it sits there, and then if you hit Q again it explodes and does damage. So you can try to zone your opponents, you can throw it out there and set it off immediately to do damage. You can do all sorts of different things. You can use your imagination with that ability. The other nice thing that makes Gragas so tanky and he can sustain his lane so much is his passive. Every time he uses an ability, he restores 2% of his max health over 4 seconds. So when you get a little bit higher level, you restore quite a bit of health when you're in lane. In this particular case, I took Clarity and Flash, which just about any summoner skills can be useful on Gragas. I like to take Clarity for the little bit of extra mana, even though we're going to go into his W ability right now, but I still like Clarity. I also like to be able to support my duo lane partner, but like I said, any summoner can really be effective. Now his W ability is Drunken Rage, which, channeling this for 1 second, he gains 30 mana while channeling, and then that also increases his physical attack damage and reduces damage he takes, and also activates his passive, so you get health back, you get mana back, you take less damage, and you do more damage. So it's an all-around buff. Plus he gets to drink and burp a little bit, which is always fun. I personally like to level up my Q first because of the harass. The harass is just so strong early game that I like to level that up as quick as I can. So I go heavy into my Q, picking up E at 4 and leveling up my W after that. Again, just for the lane sustain, because I feel the longer you can stay in lane, the better. His E ability, which is Body Slam, what this does is it charges forward at your enemy and does a pretty good deal of damage. It also slows your enemy, so you can rush in there, hit him with it, slow him down, hit him with another barrel or two. Like right here, I'll run into Malphite, throw a barrel out, and then as he's running away, pop that off and kill him off. So it's a pretty strong ability. It can be used in a number of ways. You can dash over walls, you can set up ganks, you can do all sorts of things. It's also an AoE, so if I slam into like a group of minions, it's gonna hurt them all, like you just saw there. His ultimate is probably the one thing that makes Gragas have a higher skill cap than, because right now his skill cap's pretty low. It's 2 skill shots that are fairly easy to land, and you kind of just sit there and you hit them with Q, and you harass them down until you can burst them dead, and then you go in there for the kill. But his ultimate throws a barrel out. This barrel, as soon as you let it go, again, it's a skill shot. It hits the ground, does quite a bit of damage, and knocks all enemy units back. So if they're on the left side of it, it's going to knock them farther to the left. If they're on the right side of it, it's going to knock them to the right. If they're in front of it, it's going to knock them farther in front of it. If they're behind it, you get the idea. So what you got to do is being a tanky type character and trying to help initiate fights for your main tank is you want to use that ability to knock them, either knock their CC away from you or knock their carry towards you. So we're gonna see here. Let's see if we can get a good ulti here. Throw my ulti out, get Shen there. Didn't kill him, but did a significant amount of damage to him. So that's his ultimate. It does do quite a bit of damage, and it lets you burst pretty well on champions, especially less hit point champions, carries and such. Later on, as that damage increases and increases and increases because of leveling it up, you start doing a lot of damage with it. So I think it's an awesome ultimate, but it can also be your other team's best friend. So it could be the best thing that happens to your team, and it could be the worst thing. So that's why a lot of people, I wouldn't say fail at Gragas, but aren't the greatest with Gragas. He's a little bit more difficult to master, but he's really fun to play. His voice acting is just hilarious. I love listening to him talk. His joke is awesome. He's just a really all-around fun character to play. For his items, I usually go heavy AP. Again, because I don't personally like to tank on him. You are tanky just with AP because of your hit point scaling, your mana, or with your magic resist from just being Gragas, the defensive tree, everything will just make you a little bit more tanky. But I don't personally like to tank on him, but mostly because I feel that with the metagame how it is right now, with all the tanky champions and all that, it's really important for everybody to be able to do as much damage as possible. Malphite might get the kill there, no, because he's terrible. But I will just pick that up and just walk out. Again, you have that W, which makes you pretty tanky. At level 1, it's 10% damage reduction. So that's quite a bit of damage reduction off the hop there. Let me go back real quick. Okay, and I always like to level up my W second because of the damage reduction. I do like to be tanky and take as little damage as possible, don't get me wrong. I just don't like to build, just tanky items. I like to build a lot of AP items, so I can do as much damage as possible because of my AP scaling is so strong. His AP scaling on Q, I believe, is 0.9, I believe, and his AP scaling on his ultimate is 100%, or really close to it. So he's no slouch once he gets some AP behind him. So you can do significant amount of damage just with your full combo there. Killed him from about half health. Yeah, I am a little bit higher level than him, but still, that's pretty good burst for what a lot of people think is a tank. So on my first back, I normally wouldn't have 2600 gold, but I always like to try to get rush my needlessly large rod, and if possible, get some sort of boots depending on their team. If they're heavy CC magic damage, I'll go Merc Treads. Most of the time I will go Merc Treads. If not, I will go either Ionian Boots of Lucidity or Sorcerer Shoes, depending on what their enemy team is building. This game we're going to go with Merc Treads because they are the primary item that you will be buying. For the question of the day today, we're gonna try to find out what one item in the shop that you just have never bought, never really thought about buying, something that just kind of confuses you and you don't really know why it's there, but you would like to maybe have me go take a look at it more in depth, learn, talk to some people, learn about the item, try to get just a little bit more ideas about it, and send you guys out a video so you guys can take my knowledge and use it in your future games. So that's Gragas, the drunken dude. Please subscribe to us, give me a comment about whatever you guys want to see happen with this YouTube channel, with this site in general. Also, please come to our website, angrylemongaming.com. There should be a link in the description. And as always, don't drink and drive safe. Have a great 4th, everybody.